This week is Parshas Shemos. And Shemos, the Torah tells us that Moshe grew older. He went out on the street and he saw an Egyptian guy hitting a Jew. So he went and he killed the Egyptian and he hit his body in the ground. The next day he went out and he saw two Jews fighting with each other, and he said to him, "You evil person, why are you hitting your friend?" And he answered, and both of them answered together, like, who put you as a person, as a minister and a judge on us? Are you going to kill us like you killed the Egyptian yesterday? And Moshe got afraid and he ran away. Now, it sounds very weird. Since when did you hear people being upset at other people for defending them? What did Moshe do wrong? How were they able to accuse Moshe of doing something wrong? I understand, let's say, they didn't want Moshe getting involved in their business. So they could have just said, like, mind your own business. Technically, that's what they said. But why did it also include the idea that Moshe is going to kill them like he killed the Egyptian, like as if Moshe did something wrong? I mean, who hates somebody for defending them? The answer is, there are people who don't want to have any obligation on them. Therefore, they're willing to sell themselves as slaves, not to be obligated to Omar Cheshamayim, to serving Hashem. People are willing to go far away from their Creator, far away from being dictated as being a servant for Hashem, and not even realizing how much they torture themselves in the process. And this is exactly what Dusam and Aviram were complaining. Because what happened when Moshe killed that Mitzri? Technically, a few Jews found out about it. And part of them was Dusam and Aviram. Now, the righteous Jews were very happy. Oh, finally, somebody defending us. But the not-righteous Jews, like Dusam and Aviram, became all anxious. What's going to be? Till now, they were able to play the blame game. We are slaves. The Egyptians are hitting us. We have to listen. We have no choice. So I can't be a good person. It's not my fault. You could blame Pharaoh. But now that somebody is defending us, that means we might be redeemed. We might be freed. So we're going to have obligation, and that is not good. Therefore, the person that's freeing us is not good for us. Similar thing we see if you learn Nach and Shmuel. It says that the 12 tribes of Israel came to him and asked him, we want to have a king like all nations in the world. Now it sounds very mysterious. The 12 tribes of Israel at that time lived as free people. People think that the United States was the first free country in the world. The first free country in the world were the 12 tribes in Israel at the time of the judges. There were no tax, or maybe very little tax. There was nobody dictating them. Nobody were able to come and just take away their property because they wanted so. It was a very free way of life. And they want to have a king like all nations in the world. A king like all nations in the world means a dictator. Somebody that could kill whoever he wants. He could take away anybody's money, anybody's property. The whole country belongs to him, like everybody becomes his slave. That was the definition of a king like all nations. If they would have asked, you want to have a Jewish king? I mean, according to the Torah, there exists the concept of a Jewish king. That means you shouldn't be in full power. That could be understood. Because I guess the system was not working so well. So they wanted to have a more organized system. But they didn't ask for that. They asked for a king to be a dictator in full power. Why is that? It doesn't make any sense. The answer is it makes a lot of sense. Because if a person throws away his obligation of Ol Malchus Shemayim, he doesn't want to be dictated to serving Hashem, he will automatically go and dictate himself into something else. Because freedom doesn't exist. It's an illusion. It's a fantasy. It doesn't exist. Everybody is dictated to something. So either you dictate it to Hashem, and if not, you're going to find something else to be dictated. So apparently the 12 tribes of Israel did not dictate themselves to Hashem. Therefore, they couldn't handle freedom. They didn't know how to appreciate it. So they were looking for a king to dictate them. And similar, you could see today's days with the lefties in America. The lefties in America want to destroy the Constitution. They want to destroy the freedom that America has. Now, the lefty politicians, I could understand. If they could destroy the Constitution, they will gain a lot. They will gain a lot of power. But what about the people who vote for them? What are they going to gain out of it? The answer is, go look who they are. There are people who are trying to deny God. There are people who don't want to have any obligation to any morals which comes from Hashem. So they turned away from Hashem. They turned away from God. Therefore, they're looking for something else to be dictated to. So they dictated themselves to the liberal ideology. Therefore, they want to turn the whole government into a dictatorship and torture everybody else with them. Why is that? Because freedom doesn't exist. So either you're going to dictate yourself to Hashem, and if not, you're going to find yourself somewhere else to dictate yourself. And this is exactly what happened to these two men, Dusam and Aviram. They became frightened when they heard that somebody is defending them, because that means that they're going to have an obligation, and they didn't want that. From here you can see if a person chooses to follow his Yetzer Hara, his evil inclination, and to have his dream of having all his desires and temptations, he will end up dictating himself and torturing himself so badly that it will be mind-boggling to understand how a person can do it to themselves. And it will be all because he wants to have the dream that he can have every temptation he wants. I hope you all understand. Have a wonderful day.